Generic greetings and welcome back once again to Prison Architect. Today's beverage is a very carbonated and indeed quite chilled cherry cola. So welcome back to the game, and in the previous episode, among other things, we got in the kitchen and the bakery, the latter of which we've not really done anything with. We can see there's some flour here being delivered, but we've not made any cakes, and what we have made is apparently several unhappy customers. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 currently not being served, even though there's loads of food getting cooked, including a salad. Interesting choice. Anyway, in this episode, we want to, among other things, probably put some stuff in the yard, although we don't necessarily need to do that because I think most of the needs are being fulfilled that the yard's sort of capable of supplying. However, one of the things I do want to do is basically change this area to actually be useful. It's just a blank area that I don't have any purpose for at this stage. However, I mentioned farming, but I'm not a big fan of farming in game, you understand, not in general. But yeah, I don't think we actually need it, and it's just going to be a big supply of contraband. However, if we go over to the, where is it, the programs here, and down to the bottom, one of the things that the prisoners are shouting for massively is flower therapy. So very, very tempted, even though it would break convention for the rest of the build, basically to have this area outside. Although I say break convention, this was probably going to be a farm anyway, so having this as a flower field type thing is probably the way to go. Anyway, let's see how we get on. I also may change up these checkpoints. A lot of people have said, why don't we have an open area going in and then basically check them as they go out? That's probably a better way to do it. It's just, I'm very aware that if we have an open way in and just have the directional thing, so if we go over to deployment and prisoner directions, it's basically the prisoners can sort of ignore the direction. Certainly in escape mode, we can just ignore the direction. It's more guidelines than rules. Name that reference. And anyway, let's go over to, I think, the walls and doors and to reclaim wood wall. And I'm gonna build this here. This is going to be, as I said, the flower garden now. I'm probably going to have a checkpoint in and a checkpoint out. So that would mean something like that and that. And then this one, I don't really know what this room could be. Let's just have a quick look at needs and see if there's anything that's not been fulfilled. So we've got a sleep need there, a couple of critical ones. That's probably people in solitary, which always tends to be at the top left here. We've also got some freedom need and some clothing need, some drugs. I don't think we can really account for that one. Literature need, I don't know why we've got such a high one of those, because we've got a library and every single cell has... Oh, no, my mistake. I was going to say every single cell has some bookshelf in it, but it does not. We've got bookshelves in the common room here. But anyway, that'll be fine. The freedom need is interesting. I could do a fight club. A fight club would make them... Well, apparently it's to do with freedom need. I could do a fight club. Let's go over to foundations more, and then the reclaim wood wall, and then we'll just place that in like so. The entrance of which will be just a standard door. And I was going to say I'll copy the design here, but not so much, because that is, just like a weird design. The whole premise was to have, like, say, a reform island and have the helipads in the middle and then everything expand outward, and we have done that. However, the rooms are just, well, the fit for purpose is, I think, the best way of saying it, but they're also like, say, a bit weird in their design. So they just, random wall down the middle there. This one's now open, wall down the middle, wall down the middle, wall down the middle, and through this the sort of central line as well. The bakery and the restaurant, there's another one here. So yeah, it's definitely not symmetrical, far from it. But anyway, I digress. Over to objects, and we're going to search for this one. We're going to go for a checkpoint, and it's going to be a checkpoint in and a checkpoint out. So one there and actually wait, one there and one there. That should be fine. And walls and doors again with the reclaimed wood wall to run like that, just so you can't circumnavigate them. Obviously, I'm not really too desperate about the security level, because this is reform, and for escape mode, I think it is very, very doable. But let's say not really focusing on that. We're going to go for a metal detector, 4 of, in fact, 1, 2, 3, 4, like so. And I was just going to say, I better check the money, and nope, money is actually perfectly acceptable. It's, well, more than acceptable. That's a bit of an understatement, isn't it? We've got 100,000 generic units of currency. We're also working on the restaurant service, which is served 30 civilians. We're on 70%. That'll be done shortly. Don't think we're ever going to do the carpentry apprenticeship, which is a bit of a shame. The reform program research, we only need to have one prisoner pass the 3 strikes program. Let me just double check the programs here. So we're going to go down, and it is a big long list. 3 strikes program. We have 19 interested, 5 finished, 0% passed, but we are still running the program, so still working on that, which is fine. See, a couple of people have items that they shouldn't have, and they're being found by the checkpoints there. That's fine. And also, oh, there we go. There is a tunnel. So that is, I believe, the first tunnel we found of the series. Okay, let me just double check reform. It's dropped down a little bit, which is fine. Yeah, the reason I check reform is because I thought, well, why are people now suddenly wanting to get out? Strange. Okay, and I wonder if we've found anything like that. Let me just go last 7 days. No, we haven't found any digging implements. I wonder how they've managed to start to tunnel out with that one. Obviously, the first one that I think of is the laundry, because you can very easily get a rope to. You get out by that one. Oh, the £4,000 prisoner reform reward, and then £5,000 negative because of the failure of our reform. But there you are. Anyway, yeah. So obviously the first thing you can get is the crowbar. Interesting. The rope from the laundry, which you can use to dig out of, and then obviously there's the workshop as well. So those are the 2 main ports of call. Okay, we'll see what the deal is. Let me just go over to here and remove the planning like so. Why is that object not yet built? Once that's in, then these ones will be connected, and there we go. Electric is on. Let's go over to rooms and to flower garden, and it's going to be a fairly big flower garden, and there it is there. Over to flooring as well, and to flowery field, and we will make it a lovely flowery field. And minimum size is 5x5. We've definitely done that, and it has to be outdoor, which is also the case. And let's search for flowers, and we've got sunflowers, we've got rose bushes, we've got loads of things here that we can place. So what I'm going to do is have basically a row of 3 rose bush, 3 mixed begonias, 3, and then heather. It's going to be a row of 2, which is a bit of a shame that we've got odd amounts. Can I alter it? We could, but I'm not going to. Hide ranger. There we go. I think we just, at this point, with the weird sizings and things, we just embrace the fact that it's not going to be symmetrical. But it will be colourful, so we've got that going for us, which is nice. So 100,000 generic units of currency, good daily cash flow. Guards, do we need to upguard this thing? I don't think so. I don't know if we need another foreman. I don't know if that would be of some benefit for training. I don't believe so, but is there any harm in it? I'll pick one up there and then go to office and then place that office in there. We've got obviously 2 spare offices. Oh, actually, I know what's happened here. I bet over this area, yeah, foreman's office. Okay, remove that office, and then they'll go over to that side. Yes, they have done that. Okay, fine. So the flower garden is being built. We don't need flowers in it, ironically, to run the program. So I will go to program and then down to the flower therapy. Now 46 people interested. So flower therapy is on the go. I'm going to run 2 of those because so many were interested. Nobody's actually on it currently. We can see, who is it here? Crockett the gardener. I'm going to go for another 2 gardeners and another 2 janitors as well. Farmer, don't need. Dog handlers, I'm going to probably... Do I need any more? It's always... let's just double check deployment. That's probably the best way of doing it. So anywhere we've got these people here, I'll tell you what I'm also going to do. I'm going to go for a... let's check out danger. Yeah, shears, spade, trowels, hand... forks, that's all going to get picked up by here, so I'm not really too worried. Anyway, yeah, we're just going to run the, like I say, the flower therapy. It's going to take a while for the prisoners to transition over to that. It's just the way it works. And then this other room, we're going to go with the fight club, and the fight club requires a bit of an auto-saving like that. A fight ring, we're going to put in multiple fight rings, so fight rings, and how many can I put in? 1, 2, 3 will go in. This is going to be almost like a big gym. In fact, can I make this a gym? It's minimum size, doesn't need to be surrounded. So gym is minimum size 7x7. Ah, okay. So I'm just going to keep it as a fight club then, but I will put in things like just a big row of weights benches like that, and then maybe punch bags at the bottom there. That seems to be the way to go, and there we are. All right, excellent. So they're going to put that in. While we're waiting for those to be placed, I'm going to... I better put some flooring in. I think the wooden floor, like old school gymnasium type of thing, and it also marries up with the rest of this big row anyway, so that's fine. And we need to probably look at maybe the yards. So we've got 4 yards in total, none of which have any like flooring in it. I think we're going to go with the running track, and it's going to be maybe 2x2 all the way. No, maybe not 2x2. Maybe just one space all the way around, just like that, and then the middle will still be the same type of grass flooring. I don't know what else we need to put in terms of rooms. Obviously, this area here is going to be required for... where is it? Let's just go with grass. Or do we go with field? No, because it's a slow speed. So it's going to be grass. So a lot of this, because it's island, it's not grass. It is the sand and a bit of dirt texture over here. So there we go. And then this one here. I was going to say, let's change up this area. This way we've got our solitary, because it's just... We've just over-fixtured it. We don't need the size of solitary that we've got because we're focusing on reform, but, you know, what else can we change it to? Realistically, nothing. I mean, the size is really too small to repurpose. Or rather, the effort required would not yield any dramatic results, I don't think. Over to reform, and reoffending rate has dropped to 26%. We have punishment and reform at 5. Work experience still at 3. I don't know how you would manage to get that up to 10. It's absolutely ridiculous. Security rating is 1, and health is always hovering at that -2, -1. Check the grading, and it's going to be pretty much married up. Although reform is a little bit higher there, and yeah, all right. It's still not great, not terrible. Name that reference again. And how's the flower garden? Flower garden is good. Flower garden is full of rose bushes and hydrangeas and begonias, and other flowers are available. Anyway. This is the helicopter. I think it's been stuck for a while, so we'll just dismiss that. And that's filling ingredients and sheet metal. Again, I've told the workers to build a lot of things, so we can see they are running around doing what they need to do. It's just taking them some time. I'm going to run a full shakedown because we've not done that in a while. 909 places to search. Even though this is only a small... No, is it a medium-sized map? It's... Yeah, it's definitely got a lot of items, and I think a lot of that, as we've mentioned before, is the cells. We've got several things in there. Anyway, let's just double check the... Where is it? Programs, once again. Carpentry apprenticeship. 1 finished, 0% passed on the carpentry apprenticeship, but that's going to finish in the next couple of days. Hopefully a couple of people will... Yeah, a couple of people will get through that. There was a... The talk, the doggo was talking about... In the dog's report, we saw in here a tunnel. Yes, enclosed, surrounded by walls, and not, apparently. Apparently this is the tunnel episode where, yes, people are tunneling. And there's one... Yeah, there's one there as well, I think. Enclosed. So people have started to tunnel. Just looking around for the rest of it, not seeing it. So that's 3 tunnels. Let me just click and drag, and basically we get one area over there. Danger level is high and increasing, suboptimal, some may say. Lots of prisons have serious complaints. It's just the standard thing for doing searching. I can see that the yards are pretty much sorted now, which is good. We are still on 30 civilians to cook for. Well, no, we're on 10 civilians remaining. But that should be fine. Probably get that done now, actually. You can see there's several customers here. All of the restaurant cookers, that's the word, are filled. I don't know if we need any more cookers. It's a bit of a mixed bag as well. You've got sort of a little plate of, well, a little pot of greens, pot of, might be mushroom soup or something. just says meal. Then you've got spaghetti bolognese, and then just an egg. One singular egg, and then like steak and chips. Big, thick steak size of... Well, look at the size of it. So, not zooming in, standard size. It's literally the size of someone's head. Okay, fine. Let's see how we get on with things. Going to go over to the logistics and prison labour, just make sure that, yeah, people are assigned to all that, which is fine. The fight club is up and running, and all of the fight rings are in. We've got people working where they need to work. Lots of people in the workshop as well. I mean, we've spent a lot of money on things like all of the fight ring stuff and in and around the yard. Like, those running tracks in and of itself are just very expensive. But we just hardly taken a dent out of our balance, and wow, okay, that's a lot of inmates in solitary. Why is that? Let's go with recruit informant and double check while we're in here. Where is it? It is intelligence, and let's go for security. And anyone vulnerable? No, apparently there is no one vulnerable. Okay, that is good. Just quick double check there of the security, make sure everything is staff only where it needs to be, which it is. Okay, I'm just going to go with quick build, custom and cloning, and I know we don't need this, so I am having that as a noteworthy point. We do not need solitary over here, it's just a case of finishing off the build, basically. Speaking of finishing off, where is the main weakness? Well, obviously we only have a fence around the outside, and ideally you want something a little bit more secure. Now, we could go over to walls and doors, and for probably what I'm going to go with is the perimeter wall. Have a perimeter wall around that outside bit. But also on top of that, cliff edge. I would like a cliff edge that sort of mirrors up with that one. Now, that will require me to maybe increase the size of some of the outside bits. So I'm going to do that first, because I always want... I'd like basically the cliff, the perimeter wall, then the cliff edge, and then a gap of 1. Just for the sake of prisoners, no, definitely prisoners are there, it's already a failure. No, just for the sake of our workers and stuff to be able to get round if they need to, like for maintenance purposes. Over to landscaping then and sand. So this here where it's just got the distance of 1, I'm just going to put the sand in there like that, and then across there as well. So anywhere where we have that, I will put it in. So across here is fine. Around here is acceptable. Around here is also the same. I'm just going to put in a couple of extras just to give us a bit of breathing room. And you can see it's automatically placed. Around here we'll need to build one. Here is fine. This one is not fine. Maybe there. And I'm just going to put a couple of extra bits just for the sake of aesthetics, you understand. And then this corner, which is now fine as well. I always tend to do this when it's in the dark. So no one can see exactly what we're up to. I'm just, guesstimating here. Across this area is all right, and then there is good as well. Okay, fine. Let's just double check while we're waiting. The reoffending rate, wow, that's dropped to a nice 24%. Nice. Release prisoners. We've earned a total amount of -4. But the daily cash flow is still good, and the bank balance is good, and also produce 10 superior beds, 60%. If we go to programs, carpentry apprenticeship, 1 person is finished. I would love to know the person, the legend that is the carpenter in the facility. We can see, yeah, there's the wood. So in this facility, we get the logs from our forestry, which is over in the staff only area, bring that over to here, and then we will chop it up. Yeah, you can see there we've got metal sheets getting turned into wood, and and then we bring it over to the table, and then that's brought over to the carpentry table, and then at this stage we're now producing the superior beds, which I think, if memory serves, was the first item in game anywhere. Let's have a quick look. That you got comfy beds. Yeah, I think it was the first item that you had to produce in order to then place. I don't know if that's always... Bit of a Minecraft NPC now. I'm actually not sure on that one. Was it the first item to be produced in the game that you then could place? I think it might have been, but now you can just buy it anyway. Let's have a quick look. Got inmates working. Just trying to see anyone working at the carpentry table. Not seeing anyone. License plates are being produced. Loads of wood as well. Loads of wood being chopped up. And there's some exports. Anyone in flower therapy? Just double check here. Have a scroll down. Bit of a scroll down. Constantly scroll down. No. Hang on. Back to the top then. Carpentry apprenticeship. 13 interested, 3 finished, 1 passed. Flower therapy. Oh yeah. 41 interested, but there's only 5 people on it. Okay. It's just how it is then, I guess. Still waiting for the 3 strikes program to finish. 28 interested, there's only 4 on it, but 5 finished, 0% pass rate. Still on that fairly poor pass rate. Okay. Well, over to walls and doors and to the perimeter wall, and I'm going to go with maybe there. Well, on the perimeter, as you might imagine. Don't know what I'm going to change this other bit to. I might concrete it, I might not. Don't really see a need to do that. Yeah, don't really see any need to do it. Now, I could build the rest of it. Click and drag, click and drag. We've got the money to do that. It's going to cost a fair bit of money, but we have a fair bit of money. However, my concern is it's just going to completely back up the entire facility. So I'd rather do it in sections. Go to performance here, and just checking these two, Venning and Spearberg. But they do not want to be confidential informants. Back over to the workshop. 10 superior beds, still on 60%. Still not getting that one done. Don't know who the carpenter is. Sounds like an album cover. Anyway. And still not done any cooking over here. Still, serve 30 civilians. It's only Gareth Tothill that's working there. And we still have ODs. It's just a weird quirk of the design. If we see a lot of stuff, it's like it's been brought in. Like, okay, so we know where that's come from. It's been nicked here. Smuggled, apparently. Shears, needles, pickaxes, poisons. So it's smuggled in there. Don't know how it's been brought in like that. Crowbar. Smuggled into the library, apparently. But you'd think it would have been detected through the scanner machine. But apparently not. How is this wall? The wall is getting there, is the best term. Power export, 3,507. So we could definitely get more wind solar hybrids. Obviously max this out. And we probably will do that. I think this is the first prison in a long time where I've not had to sell any shares. Don't think we've ever sold any shares for this build. Obviously we've had bank loans, which is par for the course really. But I can't think of a time when we've sold any shares. How curious. Looks like all the flowers have matured now. Not that we can see it, you understand. How are we doing for visitor helicopter? Dismiss. It's always it seems to be the visitor's helicopter that is a bit of a problem. There's an unknown trait there. Could activate a couple of inmates, but it's close to morning, so yeah, there it is. So that would be bad, because if the inmates are missing... Yeah, if the inmates are missing, then other prisoner gets suspicious. Speaking of suspicion, Griffin. I was following you for a while, and you seem to be hovering around the top left. There's Benjamin Headland, who's been released, but is currently sitting in the bed. Ah, look at that. They're going in the out bit. They're being searched, though, by Messina, who I can make an officer. We haven't actually done any ranking up, it occurs to me as well. Which is a bit... Yeah, it's a bit iffy at times. That's the technical term. Just going to rank anyone up to officer. There can be. Specialist officer, some of them. Some of them can't even rank up at all. You can only have a certain amount as well. Just rank this person up. Looks like this cell is being searched as well, for whatever reason. A couple of guys on patrol here. And that's enough of that. Alright. So, looks like the wall is still getting built. It's going to take quite a while to get this wall done. I think we're going to leave it there for now. We have got basically the last sort of touches of the design in. So, this fight ring to increase, well, decrease the need for freedom, I guess. Fulfill the need. Then the flower garden, which is fine. A lot of people said they want to do the flower therapy. Flower therapy. Where is it there? Active and starting. There's more people on it. 37 interested. There was 40 odd before, but there's more people actually running it, which is good. Obviously, we've done... Oh, produce 10 superior beds. We were on 80%, so only 2 more to go. That's fine, then. Alright. Don't need running more staff programs, and reform is... It's jumped up to 29%. So, we've had it in the low 20s, and we've seen it in the... Well, it was a ridiculous amount. Now 28%. Punishments 5 and 5. Punishments 5 and reforms 5. Workers still 3. Security 0. Don't know what we can do to basically bump this up. But, oh, grant completed. 10 superior beds. And we found them. Felix Moss, prisoner number 794212, sentenced for 17 years for aggravated burglary, family none, 1 stint in the facility. If we check out experience, wow, they're really reformed. Workshop safety induction, kitchen safety and hygiene, carpentry apprenticeship, foundation education program, and solar panel development, all successful. Well done, Moss. Well done, you. And they're producing 10 superior beds, which is why we've done that grant. Okay, in the next episode, we will look at... What will we look at? We'll do another grant. Probably going to be... Maybe... bakery production skills? Yeah, I think we can probably do that. Anything else, like, we could do the tracker pilot scheme. That would just be done. It would just be a case of putting items in and the routers and the health monitors and all that. It's just a case of doing it for money. But I'll probably pick up bakery because we've got one of those and it's just going to be a bit of a time. And we'll basically finish off the security of the facility. So perimeter wall and then the cliff edges, which is going to take, like I say, just time really. But either way, hope you have enjoyed the episode and the series thus far, which is coming to a close, I think. But let me know in the comments what you think. And as always, we'll go from there. Thanks very much for watching. Take care and generic partings.